Hello, Eagles fans. I'm Chris McPherson, and we're continuing our coverage here from Super Bowl 52 in Minneapolis, and we've got a Hall of Famer here, a long radio row, LaDainian Tomlinson, in the house. How you feeling, baby?
I'm feeling great. It's Super Bowl week.
It's Super Bowl week, indeed. Yeah. Your good friend, Darren Sproles, how happy would you be for him to take home a ring?
Very happy. But I would rather see him playing, and I know he would rather be playing. But, Darren is a great guy. He's been playing for a long time, and he deserves to be at this point in, at the Super Bowl. And it would be awesome for him and his family to bring home a Super Bowl ring.
What do you remember about your time playing in San Diego with him when he first came on board?
Well, we had a great connection. I think our entire backfield, we all got along. We all pushed each other. But at the same time, I think there was a certain respect for one another's talent. And I knew very early that Sproles was special. A guy that can do not only just special team stuff, that's a given. We drafted him obviously to be that punt returner and kickoff returner, but the things that he was able to do out the backfield was special. And then what a lot of people didn't realize is he's really strong, a strong runner inside the tackles, even though, his stature is not very big, but you look at his legs and the way he's put together, the guy's put together really, really good. And so that was a part of his game that was very underrated until he started to prove to people that he can run inside. And, of course, having Marty Schottenheimer, we ran inside a lot. Yeah. Power was our main play, and Sproles did it better than anybody else.
How remarkable is it that from your days playing that the Patriots were ruling the AFC and the NFL, and that Super Bowl 52, 2017, kickoff on Sunday, it's going to be the New England Patriots playing once again.
It's truly amazing, honestly, because you don't expect a run to last this long when you talk about the Patriots. At some point, there's always this tension and, there's always some things that break a team apart, especially your core group of players. And in this case, obviously their core is Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and Robert Kraft. The fact that they have been able to check their egos at the door when they go to work, that's what's special about them, and that's why they have been able to sustain over this time period.
LT, as we get nearer and nearer to kickoff, you're going to be on NFL Network's Super Bowl Prime. What's the one matchup that you're looking most forward to watching develop this Sunday?
Well, a couple of different matchups. Especially, it's a given Patriots offense against that Philly defense, but within that matchup, who's going to cover Gronk? How do they attack, that challenge of covering Gronk? And then when you do take away Gronk, as Jacksonville did pretty good job of taking him away, that next guy will be Amendola. And how does Patrick Robinson match up on Amendola? To me, that's going to be the matchup to watch. If Patrick can contain Amendola and hold him to 5 or 6 catches for about 60 yards and no touchdowns, Philly will have a really good chance of winning this game.
Now, LT, when you played, you were the guy in the backfield. You were the workhorse back. You can go in between the tackles, catch the ball in the backfield. You did everything for that offense with the Chargers and your time with the Jets. What is it like watching this Eagles backfield where you have basically LeGarrette Blount is the guy who's a hammer in between the tackles. Jay Ajayi is the versatile guy who can bounce it to the outside. Corey Clement's the rookie who can do a little bit of everything. How different is it watching a scheme like this where it's so tough to defend because you don't know what's going to attack you at any given time?
Well, you're right. It is a scheme that you don't know who's going to get the ball at what time. But to make it work, those guys have to be so unselfish. They have to be willing to sacrifice their own personal feelings and, obviously the things that they want to accomplish personally for the good of the team. And that's what's so great about seeing what these guys are doing. But I think it speaks to what Deuce Staley has been able to do with this backfield, because it takes a coach like Deuce who has played and been there to get those guys to buy in, and he's done a terrific job of doing that. I think because they rotate like they do, that's why it's so hard to defend them, because, when Clement is in the game, I'll tell you, that kid can be special. He can do so many different things. He's a matchup problem much like the Patriots running backs, the guys that they have. Clement is really built in the same manner as those guys, James White and Dion Lewis. So it's going to be interesting to see if this becomes more of Clement's game, and Jay maybe takes a step back and say, hey, young kid, go get it.
Now, LT, I know you're an analyst for NFL Network and all, but does part of you want to live vicariously through the Eagles and say, go get the job done, okay? I mean, the Patriots kept you from getting a ring during your time. Are you kind of like, Philly, let's end this reign here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, because I do have, one of my really good buddies, on Philly, I would love to see them pull it off and win it. The analyst in me kind of breaks down the game and it says the Patriots should win, but it don't always go like that. I am pulling for those guys.
The underdog mentality.
The underdog mentality, and they have done it. They have done it all year. But here's if Carson Wentz, honestly, if Carson Wentz was playing, I think the Eagles would be favored because they have been that good with him along with that defense. But if Nick Foles plays like he did in the championship game, then I think they'll be fine. They'll have a chance, a great chance to win this game.
LT, my last question, we'll let you get going here. What X factor has to happen for the Eagles to win? You mentioned Nick Foles has to play well, but what's that under-the-radar storyline that has to come to fruition for the Eagles to get the upset here in Minneapolis?
Well, I think just, guys like Fletcher Cox and that defensive line has to be the storyline of the game. All game, they have to come to play. And then if they can get a defensive touchdown or special teams touchdown or keep their offense in good field position, meaning special teams having good returns and all those kinds of things, to me, that will bode well for the Philadelphia Eagles because the Patriots are always trying to put you in bad situations. Like, that's where they capitalize.
Don't get those matchups.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And so if Philly can do that, I'll tell you, that'll be the thing that will help them win the game.
LT, we got to let you get some rest. Got 8.5 hours of pregame coverage on Super Bowl Sunday. We look forward to seeing that. Hopefully the Eagles are bringing the Lombardi Trophy, though, at the end of the night to Philadelphia. LaDainian Tomlinson from NFL Network joining us here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com as we continue our coverage from Radio Row here in Minneapolis. I'm Chris McPherson, and thank you for joining us. Have a great Eagles Day, everyone.